Undertakers, that sort of thing. But we are going
Okay,
straight into it here, and we can
straight.
see that I believe it's Greensheep on the bottom with the Druid and Dills on the top with the Rogue. We're going to see definitely not cards you want to see in your opening hand there for Greensheep.
Yeah, definitely not. That is not at all what you want to see. All right, so especially since GVG, the games have gotten a little bit more interesting, and it's kind of interesting to see just how late game the deck can afford to be while still having enough early game removal nowadays. It used to be a big weakness of the deck, but now it's covered that through Muster of Battle and other shenanigans that we'll probably get to see um, coming from Green Sheep this time around. I'm just a little curious what the hunter deck was that
It
got
was
banned,
the
because is it a mid-range hunter? Was it like hyper aggressive?
It's a fairly typical hunter deck, Undertakers, that sort of thing. But we are going
Okay,
straight into it here, and we can
straight.
see that I believe it's Greensheep on the bottom with the Druid and Dills on the top with the Rogue. We're going to see definitely not cards you want to see in your opening hand there for Greensheep.
Yeah, definitely not. That is not at all what you want to see. All right, so this is kind of an awkward start for the druid. I mean, if he top decks, I guess a wild growth, he could ramp a kind of innervate play for a really early push. But at the moment, if he does transition into the mid late game, he's gonna be fine. But at the moment, this is not looking very likely.
It's not a great start for the Rogue though either. He does have a Sap and a Blood Mage Thalmos around the lower end, but really the only minion he has is a Violet Teacher at the moment.
Yeah, it's actually a really slow start for both players. But if an innervate were to come out, Sap would take care of whatever got played very quickly.
And this is the rogue deck of Dills does have some late game, so if this does turn into a war of attrition, this could be a very interesting contest. But you do have to feel like the longer this goes into the mid and the late game, it does have to favor the druid.
Yeah, it will favor the druid. And like generally speaking, just because you have to play around Forces of Nature and Savage Roar, you are at least worried of that being the case. So at the moment, the game, although it's being played slowly, I mean, the rogues have a pretty good matchup when the game stands nowadays post GVG. Although it does favor the druid for the combo plays, if he doesn't run combo, which a lot of druids have been deciding to cut for reasons on ladder, it's it's actually possible the rogue just manages to set down enough tempo and beat down that the druid just withers under the pressure.
And you see the sprint coming down here for Dills into the hand. Interesting, he didn't opt to go for the coined out Violet Teacher. I guess you might be tempted to do that if you're sitting there with not many minions on board, but definitely keeping that for when a turn when you can play spells at the same time definitely feels like a more optimal play.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's kept his dagger up, so at the moment he can always, if he wanted to, he could go for some kind of Vile Teacher play later on. But killing the Keeper of the Grove for free, because all it dealt is really, 4 damage total. 2 from the Battle Cry, which is sort of a waste, and 2 from the damage that retaliation came from the dagger. So I'm a little really curious where this is going to go, because Trade Prince Gallywix is coming down next turn, pretty much systematically.
For sure. It's definitely going to be interesting to see how the druid decides to answer the trade pink Gallywix. However, does
Uh-oh.
spend his only spell the turn before the Gallywix comes down, so that could be very important.
Uh-oh. So this is not a position you want to be in, because when are you happy to sap a Dr. Boom? The answer is never. There's only one good answer for that, and that is pretty much never. I wouldn't be surprised if some kind of fancy Violet Teacher play involving putting a lot of 1/1s on the board was used here in order to remove the 1/1s and have them whiff on tokens, just to make sure that the rogue herself didn't take 8 damage from the boombots just exploding 100% of the time on her face. Let's just see here what
It's
will be played.
Looks like it's going to be a Violet Teacher coming
Yeah.
down, though. You do worry that if you play these tokens and you end up killing Boombots, the tokens could die straight away from the Boombots.
Well, you want them to die from the tokens. You don't want the boom boss to hit your
Yeah,
face as a
true.
rogue. You're taking enough face damage as it is using a weapon for removal. So spawning 1/1s here to just prevent the damage from being dealt to you is a perfectly fine play.
And he's going to go ahead and sap that Dr. Boom, like we said. This leaves an interesting turn for the Druid, though. He has a lot of fives and a lot of sevens,
An
but nothing really to
amazing
play
array of
efficiently.
options, quite frankly. Oh, wow, the dreadful bomb here. That is incredible. Oh,
And one of
wow.
them does go to face, one of them kills the SI7. So where does it? What do you think is the optimal play here? Do you go for the Sludge Belcher, the Loatheb, or the
No,
Druid with the
Lotheb is a
Claw?
much better play. Lotheb prevents the opponent from powering spells through the Vile Teacher for one turn, and then you get an almost free trade into the Vile Teacher through Lotheb, and you can then follow up with either taunts if you feel like you need to, and a second Doctor Boom to put even more pressure, which, as I said earlier, you don't want to sap Doctor Boom. You do it because you have to, but when does it feel good? Never. There's absolutely no point. We're happy to do so.
Very little option for Dills other than to play the Trade Prince Gallywix here.
Yep, it is a good play, however, and because he's got another sap for the other Doctor Boom, or the possibility of using Blood Mage Thalnos with backstab, Fan of Knives, and the dagger to kill the Doctor Boom, that'll kill Boom Boss as well. There are a few plays that could make sense on the following turn, since Lotheb has already been played.
For sure, and he does have coming into turn 7. Does have the sprint's going to be available to him, but the coming into this turn 7 for the Druid, it's going to be the point where, you're going to replay the Doctor Boom quite probably.
Yes. The thing is, how good do you really feel about using a sprint without preparation? I mean, he's got to be running preparation in this deck. I cannot think of a scenario where he doesn't. And this is pretty much exactly as expected. You know, the Blood Mage Thalnos, Fan of Knives turn. This is going to wipe most of the board.
Definitely, it's going to wipe everything. In fact, if he wants to trade the Trade Prince, he could in fact clear the entire board.
Oh, he will. I have no doubts that he will at least attempt it. Otherwise, it's going to have to be a backstab plus face hit, which has to feel completely awful. I mean, you're going to take 7 damage from that. So unless he's running anti-kill bots in the immediate sense, that's going to be a lot of damage taken. I mean, getting another sap out almost feels like it's okay. That's how bad this is.
Well, he was looking at the backstab there. Was he perhaps, I don't know, maybe even considering not going for the Fan of Knives?
No, I think he was going to well, I guess backstab plus Trade Prince trade. But then you still have to get rid of the boom bots because otherwise Savage Roar is looming as a threat. You still have to be
Absolutely.
very, very careful about that. It's very dangerous.
That combo threat is just,
Yeah.
if he was sitting on an Innervate and the combo, and he has had a lot of cards in his hand for most of the game.
Wow, second Doctor Boom
Oh
sap.
dear.
This is devastating. Oh, goodness. At least he's got a lot of tempo at the moment. He's got minions on board. He's drawn sufficient cards. He's going to be able to deal some substantial damage in the near future. And the bombs weren't really that exceptional here.
Does take 3 damage to face, but it just means that he's keeping the damage equal on both sides here.
Yep.
And the rogue does have the advantage.
And the Lotheb is a very good card here because if you're afraid of combo, you can just negate it for at least an entire turn and then follow up with. And he does not replay Doctor Boom for the 10th time. He actually opts for the Shade of Nax and Sludge Belcher play, which after seeing 2 saps kind of makes sense.
For sure. There's double backstab and SI7 in the hand, so lots of clearing potential.
This is an amazing turn here for the Rogue because between backstab, the dagger, and the SI7 agent, everything just dies. She can even play Lotheb as a backup play just to prevent the Druid from locking down the board.
Yeah, that's crazy. You can play Lotheb and just build up your board.
Yep.
He's thinking about. He's even going to save the backstab.
That is really, really interesting. I thought he would at least use the dagger or the backstab, but
trading the Trade Prince.
Yep, no spells usable here for the Druid, so Ancient of War it is, but no more saps. So the Rogue will have to do this old-fashioned way, which is pound your minions in the face of that thing and hope that it works out.
Tinker's Sharp Sword Oil.
This is a big top deck.
That's certainly going to help deal with this Ancient of War.
Yep.
I presume you backstab it to activate it?
Yeah, I mean, he's got to be running at least one Blade Flurry. Oh, and
there it is.
Here's the Blade Flurry. Oh, wow. This is enough. He can actually kill the 5/10 just through backstab.
Yeah. Backstab,
Tinker's Blade Flurry, dagger up, attack, go face for 10.
Wow, that is a crazy couple of draws.
Yeah, but then you have to hope that he does not have the Force of Nature Savage Roar combo. Because if he does, you're in a world of hurt. But I mean, you do hit him for a total of 13 right away. Actually, he's dead. He's got lethal. What am I talking about?
Well, yeah, what are we talking about?
Backstab, Tinker, Sharp Sword, Blade Flurry, dagger up, killed. Yeah, what?
No, he doesn't see it. He doesn't see
it. Oh, there was a lethal on board.
He's in fact about 30 seconds behind us at least.
Oh my
Because
goodness.
for as
He
long
had
as it took
lethal.
us to see the lethal,
It took
he
us
didn't
so
see it
long.
at all.
But he
Wow.
didn't. Oh, this is excruciating.
Oh no.
But he's got the prep. Maybe he sees it after all because he still has 2 mana, so he might be see. Oh no, there's no way he
There's
doesn't. He
no way
doesn't
to do
see
it.
it.
There's no way to play them both.
Well, he's got double prep. Yes, there is. There is. He might have just
It's a second,
realized
I
that.
thought it was a second backstab. He does have.
I think he
Has he
just
got time?
realized. What's going on?
Does he have time?
Did he realize it? I think he
Tinkers?
dragged it. I think the actions were queued. Actions were
Okay.
all queued. Okay, what?
Tinkers?
No!
Hits
No!
face?
He could have Blade Flurried!
No, he didn't Blade
He
Flurry!
didn't Blade Flurry! Oh, the lethal. Okay, so now
no.
at least there's no Force of Nature Savage Roar, but this was excruciating to watch.
Oh no.
Oh, I'm dying here. Somebody save me from myself.
Actually, oh, he realizes now. You can
Yeah.
see emo. He realizes that he had lethal there.
Dills.
And in fact, even with a Druid Claw, if Greensheep had an Innervate here, he could threaten lethal as well.
Yeah, he could threaten lethal, but I mean, either way here, do you just drop? Wow, okay, the swipe is going to be a
That's
pretty...
a huge
Well,
top deck.
Do you swipe or do you just Druid of the Claw sacrifice?
Oh, I'm personally, I feel like particularly when you've just run into when you've got the coin, I feel like you keep the Druid of the Claw.
No, you can't allow the rogue to have a swipe because that's way too much reach.
It's true.
Yeah, you can't allow her to have that. And now he wild growth after killing Trade Prince, obviously. So the rogue will have a very good chance at lethal if the druid does not find Force
He's
of
digging
Nature.
for that combo so hard.
Well, I mean, there is a Dr. Boom in the hand here.
Oh no.
Like Dr. Boom, Eviscerate Face, and then Wrath, your Boom bot, with preparation. Oh, no way. Okay, this Dr. Boom is going to be excessively dangerous, but Force of Nature is all it takes.
So is the top deck going to come down?
It's a tense moment of truth.
It's so tense, Dills can't even bring himself to press end turn. I think he's thinking about
prep wrathing his own boom bot for card draw.
Or even prep Eviscerate just to push damage.
Oh yeah, you could do whatever. I mean,
but he doesn't. Is it going to be? It's
no.
Innervate. No.
But is that?
That's
okay. I think the rogue has won.
I think that is lethal. I don't see a way.
I mean, double Savage Roar plus swipe is only 8 damage. That's not sufficient.
I mean, the rogue has lethal with the Eviscerate.
What if you play your own Dr. Boom, then coin out swipe, and your boom bots kill their boom bots, and you just trade boom bot
is
charges?
What we're gonna see?
I think so. See
coin swipe?
Yeah, I think this makes hell of a lot of sense. I think it makes too much sense not to make.
Or swipe
no.
Boom.
You swipe the boom bot.
Yeah, swipe the boom.
And hope. Just hope for the best.
Pray.
Oh!
Where did he go? What? Oh my god! It works!
This is crazy.
What a crazy game. Those boom bots managed to kill the Dr. Boom. And in fact...
This is not real. I am dreaming this. Please tell me I am dreaming this.
With the double Savage Roar, I can't see any way out of this.
There's no more saps, so...
There's no more
you have to Wrath Eviscerate the 7/7. And like you play Violet Teacher, Wrath Eviscerate, and that's all you've got.
But you're rapidly running out of steam as the rogue.
But you still have the prep sprint, so you're still okay. You've got a follow-up for card draw on the following turn, so you could still win. But admittedly, it is a very, very tricky position to recover from. I mean, he did miss lethal. He had his chance, and missing it was a really, really big deal.
It was a very difficult lethal, to be fair. And work out where all those and the Blade Flurry and all the different power. It was, it's the kind of thing where if you're in the heat of a game, it can be very hard.
Yeah.
In fact, he's opting to prep sprint here, and that could. Well, he does actually heal bot.
Yeah, the heal bot is going to help, but I felt like just Wrath Eviscerating might have been possibly more relevant.
Like he had to clear it off the board.
Yeah, instead of just trying to buy himself some time because he's still dead on combo.
Even a single Force of Nature.
Yeah, he needs to drop Wrath Eviscerate right now. But now that's being done without Violet Teacher, which lowers the value of those 2 cards a lot. Because he's not getting the 1/1s as follow-ups.
for sure.
All right, so still it's still a Force of Nature Seek play here from the Druid. We'll try to get that one to get the insta win. Other than that, he's gonna have to wait a little longer.
He's going for the well played. He thinks the Greensheep has the combo.
Yeah, he obviously doesn't because he would have played it last turn instead of Dr. Boom shenanigans. And still no lethal.
For the Grove?
For heal? I mean, do you have to? I
You
feel
have
like
to
you
Ancient
have
Lord
to.
heal.
Yeah, you have to. It's unfortunate, but you have to. Yeah, you're
This
gonna
is
be back
actually a
up to
very
15
tense
health.
game.
Yeah, it's gotten to the point of tension after the lethal miss.
I'm trying to think. I mean, there is a you know, Dills could draw into something which really could swing this back.
Oh, Dills could win. It's not over at the moment. With Anti-Killbot and Sludge Belcher both in hand, I feel like this is still in the realms of winnability, so to speak. I mean, could you play? No, you can't. There's no way.
Do you think Anti-Killbot Sludge Belcher here?
I don't see myself doing anything else, quite frankly. Not against the Druid who's got potentially combo pieces in hand, because those cards have been sitting there for a bit.
For sure, you heal yourself up and give yourself that taunt. He does have the Keeper of the Grove to silence that, and a Sludge Belcher of his own.
Yep. But now this is back to kind of a slower paced game.
And they both healed up as well, so we're, you know, from a point where they were both threatening lethal and looking at some staring down low health, they're both right back up, and you know, this game.
Flurry now going to take out the... At the moment, if a Blade Flurry is played with an Azure Drake on board, this is going to swing back the game quite drastically.
There is a Ragnaros.
Not very relevant at the moment, is it?
Well, if you trade in the Anti-Killbot Blade Flurry...
Do you Ragnaros
off
right
the
away?
board.
Because there will be a Slime and a 2-1 left. I guess he does.
He's gonna go for it.
I guess that was the play, but what about Big Game Hunter? I don't know. I'm a little ambivalent about that. Then again, I'm not the one playing this game. He knows better than I do.
I can
Wait,
always understand the
is that-
temptation of a YOLO Rag.
I don't like it. I don't like Yellow Rag.
It's such a strong temptation.
Yeah, alright, so how much damage has he got? He's got 4, 5, 6, he's got 10. He's got 13 damage, not enough for lethal, but he can threaten it right away. And I think that might just be the play.
What?
You drill the claw offensively, and then Savage Roar, Hero Power. Or is that too risky still?
Well, I guess you can. Yeah, you can even go with the hero power. So you charge the Druid of the Claw. Just gives you
then-
6, 7. And you add another 6, so you get your 13 damage in.
Exactly.
Oh no, he's actually going to put down the Pilot Shredder and. Oh, he looked like he was thinking about the Pilot Shredder to maybe just try and give Ragnaros some more targets, and that is what he's going to do.
He's going full face and making that YOLO Rag play getting really, really harshly punished. That was
Farseer.
quite the YOLO Rag. Alright, so Azure Drake to draw and hopefully find an Eviscerate for that 4-4. Oh, no way.
Almost out of cards.
Wait,
and there is
that's
the Eviscerate.
25%. 25% lethal. Actually, no, 33, because you can dagger to kill the 2-1. This is the turn. Okay, he doesn't do it.
He's going to heal instead, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So he's going to heal, and then I guess he's going to eviscerate maybe the 4-4.
I mean, that YOLO Rag.
But does double Savage Roar then seal the game?
Yeah, it does. If there's no minions, he needs to kill 2 minions in this specific circumstance. Like, if the Rag goes phase, the game is over. Because it has to kill something.
And what comes out the Pilot Shredder?
Yeah, it has
Okay.
to kill the Keeper of the Grove, basically.
He's
She has to eviscerate. Okay, she's going. What? But
going
why?
eviscerate. He's going for
Why?
the 1 in 4
Well,
chance.
he should have used the
to
dagger
win this
instead of the
game.
Earthen Ring.
1 in 4. And
No.
it doesn't pay off. The Pilot Shredder takes the
Oh,
hit.
he
And
could've
there
used
comes
the
the Force
dagger.
of Nature. The Force
Dagger
of
would have made
Nature.
his 33% by killing the Keeper of the Grove, right?
I
And
mean,
then
yeah,
worst
if you
case
just-
scenario, it kills one of the 2 minions, and you're still okay-ish most of the time. Not that you know that he's got the double Savage Roar in hand. Well, that's GG for the Druid here, who wins the games on the back of some, I think, slightly questionable plays coming from the Rogue. Dills here making 2 mistakes, I think, that did cost him potential victories I mean, I guess when you're in the stress of a single game, when you're playing, it's a little different than when you're watching it. We know the cards, we know what's coming, we have time to think about it, whereas they're just sitting there and considering all the worst possible scenarios. I'm guilty of having fallen for those. Oh, but what if I play Tyrion? He's gonna have Black Knight. Well, maybe not. Maybe he won't. So sometimes you have to make those plays. So after the Miss Lethal, I feel like the play to win was to just go very offensive.
Definitely. And not to break the magic too much, but the stream is on a 10-minute delay, and Twitch chat has just seen the Miss Lethal, and things are going crazy.
Yeah, I
But
can imagine they are. People must be freaking out. And they must accuse it of being retarded as well for taking so long to see it. There's got to be somebody that are just saying, "Oh my god, retarded casters, yo! Why are you so retarded?" You know,
it's very
that is
hard
what
to
they
do
say.
that math so quickly.
But I mean, the math was obvious. It was just so I didn't consider the blade flurry being a damage output, right? I didn't think of it that way.
For sure.
All right, second
We'll go
game.
straight into it. And we have the Paladin for Dills going up against this Druid deck. It's some interesting Wild Pyromancer in the Paladin deck.
Yeah,
for
with
Dills,
equality, very very strong removal piece.
but not something that's very common in Paladin decks at this point. The Paladin decks more focused towards the Muster for Battle, Quartermaster, that sort of play. But
Yeah.
Sinjin and Pyromancer, two definitely cards that we don't see in Paladin in tournaments at this point very much.
Well, I mean, everybody knows the famed Wild Pyromancer Muster for Battle combo that leaves you with one card down the hole and a weapon that completely sucks.
And there's the equality. So the equality Pyromancer, but he's going to Muster for Battle on turn 3. And that's not
Yeah.
bad for putting pressure, but he is going to have to hope to get something to build on that.
Yeah. And now he can't play Wild Pyromancer with a spell because that's just going to wipe it, but he's still fine. He's got a really nice curve. And the Druid might... I mean, I wouldn't be too worried about swiping right now. I think I'm
He's going to
just
go for the
happier...
Harrison Jones.
Oh, definitely the best play. Definitely the better play. There is no weapon outside of Ashbringer that you want to get out this quickly.
So many cards. 3 more cards for the Druid. A Truesilver Champion comes into hand, though.
Oh, the irony.
And that's going to come
Jones
straight
dying to a
down.
weapon. All right. Well, Harrison Jones belongs in a museum, and 3 1/1s remain on the board, putting a little bit of tick on the Druid here, who's going to be able to just kind of ignore that damage for a little while. Do you
And of
swipe the
course-
face here, or do you just establish some kind of board? Because, I mean, turn 5 is the turn of the Quartermaster.
Yeah, I mean, you could coin Sludge Belcher here, but I think, and that is what he's going to go for. But personally, I would be really concerned about that Quartermaster, and I probably would have gone for the swipe. Of course, the irony of ironies, Greensheep that entire game. Oh, here's the
This is
Cult
a-
Master.
A Cult Master? This is an insane top deck. He can actually kill the Sludge Belcher through the weapon and draw 3 cards.
That's going to be a crazy amount of value.
I don't think I would have ever considered that much value being possible off of Muster for Battle. I mean, it's already good enough as is. This is just drilling it in. And that swipe is going to feel... Wait, what?
For the Cult Master. He's dropping the Lotheb instead. I'm really not sure about that play.
I'm speechless right now. I'm absolutely unable to process the information I was just presented with. I don't even know what I should be doing.
But I guess it does create an awkward turn for Greensheep. He has to use the Keeper of the Grove there.
But he might have had a 5-drop. Like, picture him having a Lotheb. Picture him having a Sludge Belcher number 2, a Druid of the Claw. There were a lot of options there that he could have had.
Very risky play for Dills. I was going to say earlier, but irony of ironies, Greensheep, who dug for the Force of Nature all last game, gets it in the first few turns here coming into his hand.
Yeah, well, it's going to be very important for sealing the game at this point. Now, the swipe is going to get ultimate value. Kill a Senjin, finish off a Lotheb. It's not that bad. But if you do manage to draw a swipe through a play like this, what happens is that then your second Muster for Battle might give you the value that you wanted off the Cult Master. So maybe that was his game plan. It's just not one that I would have personally seen.
All 4 of the combo cards now in hand for Greensheep, but he is going to go for the swipe.
They are actually really on time at the moment. For some kind of... I mean, does he even need to cast Wild Growth at this point? I don't even think it's necessary. Because he has Ancient of War for next turn.
No, he's gonna go ahead and clear this Senjin and then drop the the Ancient of War next turn
For setup for double combo over the next few turns.
for sure. And that's going to just destroy Dills here with the double combo. He does have an antique heal bot in hand.
Yeah, and choose over champion. That's going to help him top off a little bit. I've seen a lot of Paladin decks nowadays actually running an absurd amount of healing through anti-heal bots and sometimes even double lay on hands.
Double lay on hands. Well,
Yeah, I have seen some Paladin decks run double lay on hands, which has surprised me, but they're surprisingly effective in tournament environments. All
you're not
right,
going to see the
muster for
muster for
battle.
battle.
This is actually probably the turn of value. This is where value is acquired from muster for battle. If a swipe doesn't come out here,
Nope, just the second Ancient of War. So that's probably going to come down straight away. And the equality could
yeah,
well be used to clear this
equality
here.
Cult Master. But is it even that good? Because all you're getting is one card. Like, how happy are you really?
Do you even consider not equalitying until you've
Yeah.
killed a couple of these to get some more card draw? As crazy as that sounds.
What if you just equality once and trade, and then keep your 3/3s, keep your 3/1/1s, and just
And
make
hope you
another
become
one?
3/3s.
Like, you can even use your face to kill that. But then again, you're putting yourself in very risky Savage Roar range, obviously. Yeah.
That's what he's going to do. It looks like he's going to use the...
Yeah, he can play the heal bot because he hasn't seen the second swipe. So he has to assume it's not there, right?
Yep. Heal bot. Get himself back up out of... well out of combo range.
Yeah, but there are two combos. So this is a little bit more combo than you've bargained for.
Well, there are also two equalities to deal with the second Ancient of War if it comes down.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm still surprised at the absence of that. You know, the first Cult Master play that we called. I am actually surprised it wasn't played then. But I guess I can understand. If he expected the game to go the way that it did, then I could see why he did it.
a Wrath for 3 on the heal bot there for Greensheep, choosing not to go with the Ancient of War.
Well, I mean, if there's another equality, it's going to be very tricky for you. And a Quartermaster now with 4 minions on board means your Ancient dies very easily. There it goes.
The
Aldor
Aldor
Peacekeeper.
Peacekeeper. What does this turn look like if you're Dills? Do you look at a Cult Master and try and clear it out, or do you go for a Truce over Champion?
Truce over Champion, I believe, is the way to go about this turn. Like, so you will get Cult Master value right now. And you can keep the second equality for the Wild Power Master for the long-term play. All right,
finally
double Mad
comes
Scientist.
Here finally comes that Cult Master, and the Mad Scientist is going to die. Dills is going to draw 2 cards, and he gets a Piloted Sky Golem. That's a strong minion. He's been sorely lacking in those big strong minions. And Tyrion coming in. So definitely get some of the pieces that he was looking for there.
But there's no silence here on the Druid side, so it's going to be a little tricky for him to get rid of everything. And now he has to get rid of the Cult Master in some way. But could you just consider Doctor Booming and ignoring... But then again, you can't really do that. You really can't just draw Boom here.
He's going to go for Force of Nature, because he does have those 2... In fact, he's just going to combo.
Yeah, he's going to try to double combo, because he knows the double combo deals total of 28, and 28 damage is exactly what he needs, even after... Well, he doesn't even bother. He needs 26, actually, even if Truce over Champion heals, so...
If you're Dills here, do you recognize that he's probably got 2 combos and think you've got to go with Tyrion?
Yeah, you have to go. You have to go with Tyrion. I think it's just a given. You have to at least push back the combo play, force him to have Keeper of the Grove or Black Knight. You have to force him to do that, and you can even go face with Truce over Champion.
That's
just to make sure that if you get Ashbringer, you're going to be able to pound another 5 damage in.
And you do get 2 healing as well, which is going to be very useful at this point. Greensheep is down to 9 health.
Yep, this is a pretty awkward turn for him. And now you have to Ancient of War and pray that he doesn't have the other equality.
But there it is. It's going to be in hand. And that's getting
That's
very,
not quite
very
game,
close.
but it's pretty close to game.
He plays the big game hunter as well.
Yeah, needs that body for the Savage Roar combo that's coming up.
What is going to be the turn here? It's got to be an equality. Probably just clearing everything and hitting face with the Tyrion and putting the pressure back.
Yep. Putting the pressure back on the Druid.
You could probably even drop a Piloted Sky Golem here just to put even more pressure on. This is looking very, very bad for Greensheep here. We thought that he was that the Paladin was struggling, but it looks like Dills may have fought back here. That Tyrion coming out at just the right time because he drew those the three cards off the Cult Master. It was two cards off the Cult Master. If
Yeah.
he hadn't drawn the two cards off the Cult Master, he would have I think he would have only drawn into Tyrion this turn, or maybe even not have drawn into it by this point.
No,
So
not at all. Yeah. So right now, but I mean, and he tried to he said to himself the only out that he's got is Tyrion and Lay on Hands, which I think playing for the double combo kill might have been a little greedy in a way. If your only hope is that he has neither Lay on Hands nor Tyrion.
I guess when you see, and Greensheep's going to go ahead and concede and give that as 1-1. So we're going to go into a third game here, and it's going to be the Mage versus the Paladin. Now, yeah, combo, and that maybe being a little bit greedy from Greensheep. When you see the anti-heal bot come down from Dills, do you maybe pull back on that play a little bit and think there's a very good chance he's got more healing?
Well, I mean, one piece of his healing came out already, right? So you're thinking to yourself, it's less likely from now on that he's got more. So in fact, it might incentivize you to push, right? Because he calculated, even if he used 2 of his damage on the Cult Master, which he did, he still needed only 26 to kill after the True Summer healing. So he was fine. Mathematically, he was okay if the opponent had neither healing, so no Guardian of Kings, no Lay on Hands, no Tyrion Forging, no Taunt. And it was a really greedy play.
Well, here we go into the final game of the series, the deciding game. Mad Scientist, Fireball, you're going to see from the Mage, and this is in fact a Freeze Mage deck.
Yes, we've seen it earlier.
Very similar to the deck that 6-0 won 2 games with against the Paladin. How do you rate this matchup?
Quite frankly, it depends on the Alexstrasza turn and when it comes and what it manages to do. It's all about that healing burst that Paladins can muster better than pretty much anyone else.
And some good options as well for Dills. He does have the Muster for Battle. He's got Sludge Belcher, and he's got all the way up to Tyrion. So he does have sort of the starting pieces of a very good curve there.
Yep. And the awkward thing to Freeze Mage is like, oh, well, there's an Alexstrasza, so that's one key part of the Mage strategy in this matchup. Getting the Alex very early. Making sure that it's there when you need to drop it. So that's pretty nice for him. And he's got the Mad Scientist for the guaranteed secret. The awkward part about this matchup is sometimes you need to spend way too much time removing irrelevant minions like 1/1s. So they end up with just whittling you down. Your health just goes down and down and down, slowly but surely. And that could be a really big problem in the late game. So you have to use those board wipes on hero power minions.
Is there any other deck that you play where having your opponent having just 1 more damage on board can be any more crucial than Freeze Mage?
No.
When it comes to pushing past an ice block.
Definitely. Alright, so we know this is an ice block already into play. Because the second one could... I think it wasn't green. I'm not so sure. It could still be Ice Berry. We have no idea.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Maybe our esteemed host can hover over for it and show it to us. But until then, we're going to see...
We'll figure it out soon. It's obviously not Vaporize.
Let me...
It is an ice block. There we go.
I just play stuff. I don't think it matters all that much. Because you still have to be somewhat aggressive. But it's kind of like the Warrior matchup, right? Sometimes all you want to do is play 1/1s and force them to use their board wipes on irrelevant minions. But you're still on the clock. You're still on the clock against Mage, which is not that much the case against the Warrior.
And there goes the Blizzard, which could be very useful for clearing out these 1/1s.
Yeah, but are you happy to I'm asking you, are you happy to play Blizzard on the 1/1s?
If he plays the second Muster for Battle, I'm very happy.
He'll never do that right now. There's no way. He'll just hero power every turn. It's gonna be the weirdest game ever. He can't even afford using his face because he knows he's going to get Alexstrasza later on, right? There's absolutely no threat.
So he is going for the Sludge Belcher. Frostnova Doomsayer now in the hand for Mage as well.
Yep. He's already got his double ice block set up, so that's pretty sweet.
You have a lot of delay in the hand of the Freeze Mage. Acolyte of Pain coming in.
This is a drawback. Acolyte of Pain right now is a bit of a problem because the Paladin can force you to overdraw by attacking with the 1/1s and the weapons, so that could be problematic if you lose. like Ice Lance. But I mean, does he run Archmage Antonidas? I'm not exactly aware of the deck list that he's got specifically. But if he does run Archmage Antonidas, then one good strategy is just to wait it out until you find exactly what you need.
And then just get unlimited burn and just destroy
Yeah.
the face.
Yeah, get the Ice Lances out for Archmage Antonidas Fireballs. And I feel like it's a mandatory play. And also, getting Pyroblast is a pretty good play. If he plays Pyroblast and Archmage, this is going to be very, very strong.
So there's a Frost Nova Doomsayer coming down. He's going to clear that out. And it does Dills' turn. What is it they can possibly do here against the Doomsayer? He just really has to pass. And just looking at the hand, he doesn't have equality or anything like that.
You play Pilot Sky Golem for the minion that follows, or not?
I wonder.
I feel like that's kind of a waste, but I do see what you I do see what you're saying.
It's kind of a waste, but whatever. You do need some board presence at some point, and this is kind of awkward. All right, well, down goes the Sludge Belcher's first part.
Double Blizzard in hand for the mage, and those are really not useful cards at this point.
At the moment, what the mage wants is the second Ice Lance, because once Alexstrasza comes down, all you need to do is Fireball, Frostbolt, Frostbolt, Ice Lance, Ice Lance.
Which is disgusting, by the way.
Yeah, it is disgusting.
Just
but
while we're talking about it.
Yeah, it is one of the most absurd plays. So the mage does have 8 cards in hand. So if the paladin wants, he can play Muster for battle, attack the Acolyte, use the 1/1 to attack the Acolyte, and then just to troll, Consecrate on top of it. Just to make sure that crucial cards might get burned.
I mean,
Because you never get to use Consecration against mages.
Is that what you're looking to do here? If you're Dills, are you looking to try and make the mage overdraw?
I don't know. I'm
He's
quite
gonna go for
frankly, you have to be careful with the Alexstrasza. You know you're dead when she comes out, unless you find your healing, which he's got none of right now.
does have the BGH to deal with it when it comes down, but yeah, he is going to need to be able to build it back up.
The Alexstrasza is not the threat, really. The threat is the spells that follow the Alexstrasza. You know, like it's fine to get Alexstrasza and kill her. Nullifying her is generally the easiest part. It's living the turn afterwards that's a bit more tricky. He doesn't want to make the mage draw.
There's the
really
Antonidas. How are we going to see this play out here? Lots of spells in hand. Greensheep's got to be planning several turns ahead here to think about how he's setting up lethal. He could Antonidas turn.
Oh, I think you just Blizzard. You just Blizzard, and you could even ping your own Acolyte of Pain for the sake of it. To make sure you find that. But then you're gonna get punished if the opponent, wants to punish you. It's gonna be very simple, so you can just ping face. Like, Greensheep just telegraphed, hey, I'm worried about overdrawing. Please, overdraw. So blatant.
Was there no option perhaps to clear out that Singe in there with a Frostbolt or even an Ice Lance?
He's gonna die from the Blizzard's visual damage play, so there's really no hurry to do so. The only time where you're worried about that is when something with more gets played.
Let me think.
He's thinking about silence?
Well, yeah, he wants to negate the mage's draws, but at this point I feel like it's the opposite. It's one of those awkward turns where you don't know if you should, and I mean, I would have maybe just silenced my own Senjin to go and kill it, but
Yeah, I mean, I think if you were going to clear with the Acolyte, I guess he wants to deny any and all draws, but yeah, I definitely probably would have gone with the silencing your own Senjin.
and there
Here
it
comes
is.
the Alexstrasza.
And that is good game, ladies and gentlemen. Well played.
Mind control tech, not what was needed, and that's it.
Yeah, it's over. I told you it's over. You had to. There's nothing you can do. The Alexstrasza comes out. If you don't have your healing, you're just dead. It's a sad state of things. Sad state of affairs for freeze mission autos. Your deck is predictable.
And people complain about Hunter. Jeez.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's one of those things. I don't know if you remember pre-nerf, Freeze Mage was very uninteractive. You absolutely had zero interaction with it. There was nothing you did that mattered at all. Like, everything you did was irrelevant.
Indeed, and that is going to be, and this is such a horrible way to die as well, because like you say, it almost feels a lot like old Miracle Rogue, where no matter how hard you tried or what you did, was
They're
just
playing
nothing you could
solitaire.
do.
It doesn't matter what you play. It matters what they get. They're playing against their own deck. They're not
And
playing
Dills
against
knows
you.
already. The first
Yeah.
frostbolt comes down and he already
He's
knows.
like, oh, good game. Well
You gotta
played.
be careful. You don't want to fireball and melt the freeze and then not get the ice lance damage. That's you gotta play that in sequence.
Of course, you know. All right, well that's well played from both players. I feel like overdrawing the mage might have been somewhat of an interesting play. Not that it would have mattered in this case, but.